We're out here at Barn 4 on Derby morning with Dale Romans. You've had a bunch of Derby horses in the past. Don't have one this year. I know you'll be back next year. But step back and put on your hat as the Derby analyst. How do you see the race going today?
I think on paper it looks like a two-horse race with Fierceness and Sierra Leone. Both of them have contrasting styles, so they won't be getting in each other's way. Fierceness will be up close to the pace. Sierra Leone coming from off of it. After that, there's about 10 horses, it looks like, on the next shelf that if those two stub their toes, could win the race. And out of that group, I'd have to say Catch 'em Freedom. He'll be coming running at the end. And I think if Fierceness gets beat, it's going to be because of a pace scenario situation where they're running too fast up front. And he's one of the horses that will be coming from behind, trying to run him down.
In my role as an amateur analyst, I look at Fierceness's record: good race, okay race, good race, not so good, and then a great race. Do you worry at all he hasn't put two in a row together?
You know, he's got a little more experience now. He's got those 4 or 5 races under his belt. I think that he'll start leveling off and just keep running more consistent. I think they figured something out with him in the Florida Derby. They sent him on out to the lead and kept the dirt out of his face. Personally, I don't feel like he's a horse that has to have a lead, but keeping a clean face may be important to him, so that outside draw is probably pretty good because Johnny can just break and clock, and of course he's got the best, Johnny Velasquez.
Yeah. The flip side of Sierra Leone comes from off the pace. He's been impressive the last 2 from coming off the pace, especially at Keeneland in the Bluegrass. How much more dangerous is that, though, when you're in a 20-horse field trying to overtake 10 or 12 horses down the stretch?
It's a lot tougher thing. A lot more things can go wrong, let's just say that. But you know, if you're on the lead, you worry about pace scenario where they're going too fast up front, then it sets it up for Sierra Leone. If you see a 44-45 pace at the first half mile, you can count on him coming running. If they're at a pedestrian pace, it's going to be hard to catch Fierceness. So there's catch-22s going both ways. But anytime you have to pass a bunch of horses in the Kentucky Derby, it's tough. And history says you better be pretty close turning for home.
Yeah. How many good 2-year-olds you got in the barn? So we'll be out here next year talking to you about a Dale Romans horse to win the Derby.
We got about 25 Derby horses right now until they're Derby horses till they're not.
That puts a smile on his face right there. Thanks to Dale Romans. I'm Rick Bozich with Tom Lane. We're on the backside of Churchill Downs for Kentucky Derby 150.